Group 1 racing returns to Trentham this weekend with the running of the Thorndon Mile, Harcourt's Thorndon Mile, and the JR&N Burkitt Telegraph Handicap Marquee Sprint in New Zealand. On the undercard, Wellington Cup, if you can call it an undercard, Desert Gold Stakes, Euro Cup. It's a terrific program at Trentham on Saturday.
And money to be made, Aidan. Not straightforward, but there'll be plenty of prizes that'll be worth taking. And look, on the flip side of that, there'll be some horses that will be good chances, but look, just a shade of unders. So we'll try and filter through those and give you some decent bets. Okay, yeah, punters who followed you on the Punters Lounge last week are pockets full, so pressure on again. Jason, let's kick you off in the first. The Swayness at Kanaka 2019 Premier over the 1200 metres. Favouritism here with Maria Dior, a 4-length winner at Hastings last time out. $4 Satulagi, the stablemate in $4.50. About what a smasher. How'd you see the first? Only 8 runners in the race, but look, there are about 4 of them that I quite like as horses, even 5 of them actually.
Yeah.
But I've stuck with Maria Dior. She's as short as you'd want her at $3.40. Have a lot of respect around What a Smasher. Did the job for us last time it raced. But Maria Dior is the bet and a win bet at that.
Okay, yeah, on the same page as you there. Let's move to the second, the Stephanie Murray Mortgages Premier over the 1200 metres, 65 1200 metre race. Lacks a little bit of depth, this I felt, but there's money about Emerald Amore, who's been consistent, 420, ScoMo Eagle at 420 and 180, tough race.
Was very unlucky ScoMo Eagle last start, and that's the each way play for me. Fibonacci. Now, this sounds a little bit crazy, but Fibonacci comes into this race, I think, worth putting a gold coin each way, like a dollar each way bet as well, Fibonacci. ScoMo Eagle's the top selection, but he is a horse that might go forward. If he could find the front, there's a good chance that he'll get sectionals his own way and he might run a cheeky race. That's the on-top selection, ScoMo Eagle for me, but on the side, big odds, Fibonacci.
Well, that's really interesting. The horse was a jump-out winner before that resuming run when soundly beaten, to be fair.
Yeah, well, it was soundly beaten, but drops in grade, has an apprentice allowance, is second up. So a couple of things that I'd be happy to spec at that large price. He's not sort of 10 or 15.
That's the first run in about 12 months too.
Yep, he's close to $40 or $30+, wasn't he, on that market? So. Okay. Outside of the box, that one.
It sure is. Let's move you on to the third. Lincoln Farms Premier over the 2200 metres. A really even rating 72 stayers event here. Market says Platinum Invader, maybe a Derby contender on the last start win and on the previous start win when it was 2 seconds faster than the other maiden over the same distance on the day. $6 Sky Fighter, Treasure and Red KM.
He smashed the line last start, didn't he, Platinum Invader? The last 200 metres of that race at Otaki was excellent. He's the horse that they all have to beat, the market says. So I think he's still at a price that is playable at $4.20. I think he's probably going to attract good support. Red KN is at the right sort of stage and position in this race to be running well, but Platinum Marshall's the on-top win bet. Yeah,
I've got a lot of respect around Sky Fighter. I know going up to 60 kilograms, it was pretty good last time out. On to the fourth, the Cambridge Stud Premier over the 1400 metres, and Cambridge Stud with a couple of key contenders in the feature races at Trentham on Saturday as well. Belfacino at $4.50, Brim at $4.175, unbeaten in 2 so far, Jason.
Horses, Belfacino's the top selection for me. Horse like the Ripper can run well. A horse like Red Rose Warrior, former Hong Kong horse that was very impressive at a sort of a country South Island track last start, but is drawn to get every opportunity to be right there. He's got a little, I think he's got potential to win a race like this. Actually, he's performed over more ground than 1400, so it's probably as short as you'd go. It was just the softest win in the world, and it wouldn't surprise me if Neil Ridley pulled off a coup with that horse. Okay. Belfacino, though, the main play, but a big watch on Red Rose Warrior.
I had Tinkalicious on top.
I've been with her so much, Tinkalicious, and she doesn't have any. She rarely gets favours with the draw. She often has to do a lot of work, so that's the tough thing with her.
Just the price, just a little bit skinny for me to be taking at this point, but waiting to see prices on the day. As you'll be at home, the Harcourt's Thorndon Mile, the first of the Group 1 features at Trentham on Saturday. Here's the market on the rocks, $4.50 after the last start Ritual Mile win spell at $7. How'd you see this one?
We discussed on the first call the fact that on the rocks, whilst being a leading contender, is, well, I thought anyway, my assessment had it $4.50 very short. And then you've got the 3-year-old More Wonder, who was very unlucky last week in the Levin Classic, that's come up $5.50 as well. That opens up some really attractive prices. 20 for Salt, 20 to 1 Salt in a Swing, 16 to 1 Magnum. Even Windspell I marked as favourite for the race at $7 was worth betting, and at that $7 price is an each-way bet. So Windspell is awkwardly drawn. You would have loved to have seen him drawn sort of 5 or 6. So he will need a bit of luck from the map. But I marked him favourite, so he's the horse that I'm prepared to play.
It's one of those markets, isn't it, where there's a couple of favourites that maybe you're not liking so much, and so you're finding some real value outside the others.
So, you know, some people, they'll be watching this and say, I just want one horse to back, and that's okay. Windspell would be that horse, but it's also a race where a lot of people look at and say, you know what, I'm going to go for sort of a 2 or 3, $15, $20 chances. Yeah. And potentially make a good profit on the race, and I think this race is an excellent betting race to do just that and back your opinion, back your judgment.
Yeah, I agree totally. Let's move on to the 6th, the Gaisley Mercedes-Benz Premier over the 1,600 metres, getting $5.50 about Nirvana, an impressive last start winner. That was on Captain Cook Stakes Day. Lord Arthur, the sibling to Bonneville at $3.60, $1.65, $7 about Church Road. It was eye-catching last time, and Poppy Star at $7 as well.
Lord Arthur is the horse that will have plenty of admirers following that rather soft last start win. Rusty in Melbourne's at 26 has come up a price. I didn't expect that. That's a price that interests me again on an each-way basis. Lord Arthur top selection. Rusty in Melbourne can run well. Jeff Lynn's often has success. He targets a lot of his runners around the Wellington Cup Carnival. Rusty in Melbourne, I think, can run better than 25 to 1. Lord Arthur, though, looks like he's got a lot ahead of him and a lot of promise, so I'm happy to have him on top, but a watch on Rusty in Melbourne.
He could well be a Derby contender, yes, couldn't he? It does look like a really promising horse. His win last time was
and so from that perspective, you'd expect him to be competitive in a rating race like that. Absolutely.
Might be worth specking him in the Derby before you put your bet on, following Jason's choice. Let's move you on to the 7th. This is the marquee event. It is the JR&N Burkett Telegraph, and favouritism for it, Melody Bell, 230 and 132. She's a multiple Group 1 winner, looking for her 3rd Group 1 this season, 4th in her career. High flyer at $8.50. Further down, you're getting $6.50 about Gift of Power. How'd you see it?
So we're recording this just after midday on Friday, and we did the first call live about an hour and a bit ago. Melody Bell was $2.20, has already drifted out to $2.30. Yep. So on that program we suggested...
Slight drift here too, 6s to $6.50.
That's right. So there's been a couple of horses that they've trimmed up. There Hanger's been a good solid support for it. True Excelsior just trimmed up a little bit as well. High Flyer, a horse that's worth a little bit of an each-way bet for me. Like I don't like using love too much, but I really like Melody Bell as a horse. She's a super horse. She could be horse of the year. I think if she wins this race, it'll take a heck of a performance by another horse to perform and win horse of the year. So she's got sort of one hoof on the horse of the year crown. But High Flyer at the prices is worth an each-way bet. You know what, if she starts drifting Melody Bell and you can get anywhere near $3, then that's when one would be pouncing out of the shadows to get on her. Yeah. But at $2, $22.30, she just seems a bit tight for me.
Don't count Dance off in that category either. Yes. She's 2 from 2 heading towards the Herbie Dyke, which I think she'll add her 3rd Group 1 for the season there as well. Let's move you on to Race 8. It is the Willamette Travel Group Desert Gold Stakes, a Group 3 level for the 3-year-old fillies. 270 for Valali, first up since the 1,000 guineas when she ran a bold second placing. 650 about Sauvignon Blanc, Secret Allure, $8 for Pull Your Socks Up.
One of my phobias is a fly in the TV studio. We've got one at the moment. It's doing my head in. Valali, though, is the bet of the weekend for me at $2.70. I think, you know, Andrew Forsman signalled her quality. She's Group 1 placed already, and I liked what I saw from her in a recent Cambridge trial that said the time off between the 1,000 guineas placing and now had done her the world of good. She's worked well since then, so she's the horse that I'm prepared to back.
Yep, I think she's vulnerable, like first run for 2 months, and I was wanting to pick something to beat her. I couldn't find one. Yeah. I couldn't find one. She's a class horse of the race. Well, it seems to be on what she did last time. So yeah, I'm with you. Okay, let's move.
You're about to set up for a panning there.
No, it didn't happen. EZ Campus of Innovation, I know better. And Sport, Wellington Cup, 850 Biswinkle, Prince Jabeel, City of Auckland Cup winner, Samson, the Martin Cup winner, Excalibur, $8, 950 Duplicity, and a wide open, according to the market, Wellington
Back your horse,
Cup.
take your chances. Duplicity, your
Mental
horse that
Telepathy
I
at
don't
eights.
mind. Excalibur, Mental Telepathy, and Commander Lincoln isn't, drawn horribly compared to last time, where it does get back and probably will get back anyway from that wide draw, but you could do worse than 20 to 1. I certainly had him marked shorter than that. So I put Duplicity as an each way bet, but on that, I'd also be backing Commander Lincoln each way at that 20 to 1 quote.
Okay. Moving on to the last, the Turkington Forestry Duro Cup, and favouritism here with my favourite, Lincoln Raider, 3 and 1.
I was going to say Senator.
Oh, no. Lincoln is doing the riding for Lisa Ladder. We're getting $8.50 about final. Lenihan, the stablemate, LeSablier at $6, $9.50 Owen Patrick, and $9.50 Flamingo. Does that attract you?
It does. Very attractive price. I think that's a price that will shorten. Lincoln Raider, I understand, what he has done. His racing pattern means that you're always prone to a little bit of bad luck and potentially the tempo not being run to suit. That said, Lee Thinnis is riding well, and he's got the turn of foot that can get him out of any trouble.
Absolutely.
And so, there's no knock on him as a horse. In terms of prices, I just couldn't run away from that $9.50 around Flamingo. So she should sit just behind the speed, around midfield, maybe just in front of midfield from that draw.
Yep.
And she might be able to get that first run on Lincoln Raider.
5th in the Group 3 Thompson, only a couple of starts back. It looks to be a good form line.
It's a big drop back in class for her.
I've got a new resolution, could we call it? Lincoln Raider runs, he's a bet.
Okay.
From here on. So I'm with him through the season. Like, the guy that doubled up on Winks right through the career? Lincoln Raider's going to be my horse like that. Who's your bet of the day for Trentham?
Valali.
Valali?
Yeah.
Nice. In the Desert Gold Stakes.
Yes.
Best of luck with that, and good luck for you following Jason Tarn's selections here on the Puntish Lounge.